I'm waiting on me. Let's go. Yeah, we're back. It's news from the pew. It's been a while. Glad to have you back with us, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, things. The internet breaks. We talk about it here on News from the Pew. I'm sorry. Whew. I got a real job, so now I'm tired because I'm not a YouTuber anymore. So that's that explains why I'm kind of. That's also explains why we took last week off, is because I was actually trying to get like other stuff done as well. But in the time that we have not been together as a show and group, things have happened, because that's what it is. And it seems like 2026 is going to be even wilder than 2025, if you could believe that, especially since it's a midterm year. But do not fear, ladies and gentlemen. We will tell you stuff that you will find out in a couple weeks, if you're paying attention. Steve, how are you, bud?
I'm well. How you doing?
I am alive, and I am happy
Good to see you again. It's been a year.
right.
Merry Christmas to you and yours.
I haven't seen you in a year.
Merry Christmas to you and yours. See, I'm trying to say that, and you make fun of me and call me a retard.
Well, I mean, the two aren't mutually exclusive. So, I mean, this show is for the retards, so that's okay. But yeah, it's still Christmas time in the Barrett household. We go to Candlemas in this house, so everything is Christmas flavored. But it's also
on the 8th day of Christmas, Donald gave to us.
What? Which would you? The stealing of the Venezuela op,
the bombing of Venezuela.
Yeah.
On the 9th day of Christmas, our dear leader gave to us kidnapping a president.
You just go get one.
Somalia.
Well, I mean, the whole Somali thing has been absolutely crazy.
Epstein files.
Flipping off of a Ford employee. Did you see that one where he flipped off a Ford employee?
Yeah,
he was at the Ford plant, and some guy called him a pedophile protector, so he just gave him the bird.
Well, then just today, his spiritual advisor got caught for pedophilia or something like that.
Oh, the woman?
No, it was. I guess he's got multiple. Some guy named Robert. I guess it is.
Well, that's Trump. He would hedge his bets by having multiple spiritual advisors.
Yeah, I'll pull that up real quick. Yeah, it happened earlier today. Now I got the 12 Days of Christmas Trump style in my head right now.
Yeah. And the 12th day. It's my favorite. You know which one is my favorite day of Christmas, Steve? I'll give you a guess. Which day do you think that I love?
Me Day?
No, it's 5 golden rings.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're gold and I love them. You should have done better than that, Steve. Disappointed.
There it is.
That guy? Yeah, that guy looks like one.
Yeah, Trump's spiritual leader, Robert Morris. I looks like just sentenced to 6 months in prison.
Yeah, well, hey, at least some pedophiles are going to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to, now that it's funny, Steve, Dan Bongino leaves the FBI, and now pedophiles are going to prison. This entire time, none of that happened. Now it
just is. One. It wasn't. I think he got an accidental. He must have said something about somebody.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's something weird about that one. There's no way someone goes to jail over that in this day and age.
Yeah,
this administration. He might. He has. He's not in the files. That's probably why. He's got to be in the Epstein files to not go to prison.
He's a sacrificial one. Just to make sure.
Yes. It's kind of like the stories when you hear about during the War for Independence when about the Masons, when somebody would be they were about to get shot or something, all they had to do is flash their symbol, and their brother,
right, or whatever,
if it was on the other side, would just say, "Oh, you're one of us. All right, come over here. We got you. You'll be a POW or whatever, but I ain't going to blow your head off." And if you didn't show the number, boom.
Well, that didn't work for anybody at the Alamo. So
no, because that was different. I think they just hated them.
Yeah, Santa Ana just hated everybody.
Yeah, I think that was it. I want to say I read about that, like Sam Houston and the guys. They just when you get to a level when they just don't like you, no matter if they are, and that was that thing. And like you tick off everyone. You're like, okay, we're done with that dude. I don't care what flash she does.
Yeah.
I want to
But
say I
yeah.
read that about that. They didn't like the guy.
Well, yeah, nobody. Yeah, it is. That doesn't shock me. But
Kind of like Ben, but kind of like Shapiro. Apparently, is
hey,
nobody likes the guy. But he
nobody
does
likes
it to
the guy,
himself.
but he's still around. So it is what it is in that regard. But it seems like, Steve, it seems like what every president in their second term, even though Trump is not consecutive terms, he's in his second term, they always seem to tilt to point towards foreign policy, right? They always kind of try to trump, or pardon the pun, boost their supposed success by going into foreign policy. We saw in Venezuela, right? The Venezuela actions. Now we see Trump deciding that we're probably going to go into do some kind of military action, second time in 2 years, into Iran. For whatever, there's protests and there's things that are happening in Iran, and good for the
Really
Iranian
called out the
people.
dogs today, didn't he?
Did he?
I think I saw he called. He was about to, and then he at the last second said, "No, we're not doing it now."
Well, that would be another time. I remember a couple of years during his first term, he had bombers heading towards Iran, and he pulled them back at the last second. So it's I guess Iran is just one that he just does not really want to commit to, which I give him credit for, because that would be.
He wanted Venezuela the first go around, and apparently John Bolton, for the first time ever, couldn't get it figured out, and that's why Bolton got knocked out.
I mean, Venezuela is Venezuela, man. That one could have happened at any time. That wasn't that big of a shock. We were like, "Oh, it's so crazy." Yeah, it's Venezuela, guys.
Did you see the Halliburton meeting? The meeting with the oil executives?
I know they got their first shipment either yesterday or the day before, 500 billion from Venezuela. So it is. It's not a shock.
This is a. What would the kids call it? Gold, if I can find it.
I don't know what the kids are saying.
Well, because they were, man, the Daily Show has been fantastic on this stuff the last couple of days.
Hey, Steve, I can't believe you even watch that stuff. Even
I've seen the clips. Clips.
I'm about to say that is just poison. It's absolute poison. I couldn't even watch it because those people are not funny. Even with the supposed clips, but Trump trying to push, and of course we didn't even have it in the thumbnail or in the line. Looks like I don't know, you got 700 billion lying around, because that's how much it's going to take to buy Greenland, or just give the people of Greenland money so they decide to come and be a part of these United States, despite the fact that I think the British are sending 1 soldier and the Germans are sending like 4, and there's going to be like 15 soldiers on Greenland to protect them from the actual.
Well, this is great. Remember how they all said that it was because of Venezuela that people left?
Granted, more so for the opportunity to return to Venezuela under the stability that I know that this team and your team are able to deliver. And so
when did you leave?
Huh?
When did you leave Venezuela?
As a company, we left under the sanctions in 2019. So we had intended to stay, and then when the sanctions went into place, we were required to leave. But very much.
When did you leave? Actually, it was during your sanctions.
But there's another side of that coin, that most of the U.S. companies, I think people don't understand, is that the entire Venezuelan development line of oil, they didn't build that. That was all U.S. companies. And when Chavez came to power, he seized all of that. He effectively stole American ingenuity. He stole American pipelines. He stole all of that. So yeah, somebody on Trump's team dropped the ball. Probably should have vetted him with that question before, or they didn't think Trump was going to ask in that moment. But
he had a couple doozies. He pulled the Brandon during it.
Well, he is 80 years old.
Well, I got to look at this myself.
He gets up in the meeting and goes with himself.
Maybe he had a fart.
Wow. What a view. This is the door to the bar.
They're just looking at each other. What the? What's he doing? This was just as good.
You'll make it back one way or the other. You're all going to do very well. I think really very well. Marco just gave me a note. Go back to Chevron. They want to discuss something. Go ahead. I'm going back to Chevron, Marco. Thank you, Marco.
Well, that's Marco
Was there a
Rubio,
question,
who's
Mr.
pretty
President?
much running the entire government at this point anyway. So
I wasn't supposed to read that.
I've done that before. I mean, that's just
We got
that's
Ron
kinda-
Burgundy. Don't read anything on the prompter.
that's classic. I mean, that's classic stuff. Trump's done that before. That's not a first time thing where it's just like, it's just comedy gold. Go back to Chevron. All right. Hey, well, okay. So it is what it is in that regard. But it is true. Don't put anything in front of Trump that you don't want him to read. Because he is Ron Burgundy. He will just blast through that sucker without a problem, without even a trace or a problem or anything like that. So it is funny the way that the Venezuelan thing is being hopped up. The fact
There
that
was a vote yesterday to stop his war powers, and JD Vance tiebreaker gave him the power of the king to do whatever. he
well,
wanted.
I mean, there's also that, but there's also the ND, like the use of the thing that they did after 9/11. So the not the war powers, but it was like for terrorism. There's what's the
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
So that thing's never going to be revoked. So even if they got rid of the war powers, he would still just be able to use it because the whole thing of going into Venezuela was for terrorism, for the drugs. We all know it's for the oil, but he's claiming it's for the drugs. So that's why he would just say, okay, well, we're going in under the.
Well, he's been up front saying it's about the oil.
That's the thing about Trump. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
That
was part of, like I said, the Daily Show was talking about showing the clips of like Marco and all these guys. Oh, we're doing it because of this. We're doing it because of this. And it goes to Trump. We're doing it for the oil.
Remember back in his first term when they did a deal with the Saudis for like military equipment.
Mhm.
He's like, it's the greatest deal ever. We're going to make so much money on it. And everybody went, you're actually admitting what you're doing. Yeah,
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's not.
He's very on this. He's been honest as a pigeon on there. He's been very upfront and this is about the oil. We're going to make a lot of money. We're taking the oil. We're going to be in the oil business. We're making himself the acting president of Venezuela on Wikipedia. Things like that.
That's Marco. Marco's the acting president of Venezuela right now. So, and I mean, there's even rumblings that he's going to take Cuba. At this point, it's going to be interesting to see.
Is there an NDA that there's no NDA in DC that they can't be like two? They can only be one. You can't be multiple presidents of places.
Oh no, that only works with NGOs. With countries, you can be a president of as many of them as you want. Because they can say like Great Britain, the Queen, right? The Queen was the head of like Canada and Australia and all these other places. You just got to call them Commonwealths or whatever can't call them actual countries. You'll call
So you get
them
like a list like back in the day when hear ye, Lord Acton of the Emperor of Austria, the kingdom of this. They go down the litany.
Yep. It'll be Lord Rubio, King of Venezuela and the Lord of Cuba, Steward of Greenland,
Vice Regency of Greenland,
and purveyor of the Panama Canal. So as soon when Trump is done, but it is something interesting.
Order of the Epstein files. Website that was crossed out. That was a note that I was given. I should have read.
Yeah. Too far. We're not there yet. That'll be at the end. But Trump trying to reshape via the Donroe Doctrine, he called it, not the Monroe Doctrine, but trying to reshape influence and we talked about this last, a couple shows at the end of last year, how Trump is going to try and remake this sphere, for U.S. control, for lack of a better term. China's going to take most of the South China Sea and those type of areas. And then, that kind of leaves China and Russia alone to do their own things. So we'll see. We'll see if he's able
the
to.
moral ground's all gone. So if China wants to go in and take Taiwan, there ain't nobody over in this side can say, you can't do that. Oh no. They're just doing what we just did, even though piracy is okay if it has the US flag behind it. We just take over another cruiser today. It's like, wow, piracy is okay now. It's got mega red on it.
Yeah, it is. if you look at it from the point of view of it is funneling money to places like China, which is a supposed adversary, funneling money to places like Russia, supposed adversary. You know, I'm not going to condone it, but that is going to be their justification, is
Right.
that they are strangling the financial constraints on that kind of stuff,
Something like
especially in
that.
the AI. What's the biggest thing in the AI race besides it's energy to make these things run, right? So without oil is still a precious commodity. You can't run these things on windmills or solar panels, maybe coal, but you need to run them on something. So that's what they're going to say, is that, hey, we're choking out Russia and we're choking out China in these ways. Also, Cuba, you're choking out Cuba's Cuba's already choked out anyway, but they were getting their oil from Venezuela, so now, you know, they're in a pickle, as you would say. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah, and it's one of the things that the oil companies that can do it are a Trump donor, Zionist, and he so happens to be able to run the biggest oil company in Venezuela now.
sometimes it's funny how those things line up.
It's just a big coincidence.
Sometimes it's kind of just funny,
Singer's his name. If anyone wants to look him up,
right? That's sometimes things line up, sometimes they don't.
it's good.
But
It's not who you are; it's who you know.
I mean, that's politics all the way back to Washington. So, I mean, we're not breaking any new ground on stuff like that. I'll say that. In that
Others that we're
regard.
not breaking any news. If you're watching everyone else, yes, we are, because I mean, this is old news, but you're not going to see that on the Daily Wire, and I don't think you saw that on Beck or.
Well, no, I mean, Beck was, all those people are going to explain away why the Venezuela operation was a success and why we need to take Greenland and why Trump is positioning us in a post-industrial world where AI is running things and we need to be able to compete and, preserve. People will argue that taking Venezuela helped prop up the petrodollar because less countries are trading in the petrodollar. So if you take Venezuela and you start trading through that, then you're boosting the petrodollar there. Iran, for a lot of people, when their eyes were fixated on Iran, they said, hey, we take over Iran, which is what they would say. We take over Iran, we start, producing oil and trading it through the petrodollar there. We're going to strengthen that as well. So it's all really, everybody's trying to position themselves. They are Trump's planers. That's completely correct. And there's an entire industry that is propped up right now to Trump's plane for everything. And that's your boys, Jack,
Huge.
and everyone, all of
Huge.
them.
Huge.
Huge. It's the biggest. Meanwhile, at home, things seem to be decaying pretty rapidly, especially Minnesota, of all places, where a kid with a YouTube camera discovered some fraud, which we all know when you have an entitlement state as large as these United States, fraud is going to run rampant. It's just what it is. So this kid finds these Somalians who are running these daycares or whatever, and they're just stealing billions of dollars, just billions of dollars. And everybody in the Democratic Party in the state, the attorney general, the governor, Amy Klobuchar, all these people have to have a hand in the cookie jar to try and take some of this money back. So Trump sends in ICE, which I know Steve and I have had disagreements about, using ICE in the past to go get these kind of guys. But, that's the current state of the government. We are seeing that the current state of the government allows ICE to go in and enforce federal law. And a lot of these people are not here legally. Of course, that activated the white women, Steve, the defenders of the weak and the saviors of democracy, and that led to the tragic. It is a tragic shooting, no matter what you think.
The execution.
Now, you and I are going to have a huge disagreement on this. I've been seeing you talk about this online, and I respect your opinion on
I had
this.
a friend of mine say she might have been a pain in the neck, but I don't think you put two to her head for it.
Well, I mean,
they even said they disrespected the law enforcement more. So that means a death penalty?
Attacking a federal law enforcement officer with a 4,000-pound vehicle is a crime.
It wasn't like she was going from 0 to 90 in 0.2 seconds. She was turning right.
At 15 miles an hour, you can break bones and you can lacerate. And I know you caused it a bruise because it was internal bleeding, but
The guy walked away. He was fine. He called her a blank Bia afterwards. After
Steve,
he
people have
shot her,
been
after
shot and stabbed and
he
walked away
moved out of the
and died
way.
later. And you know, your
Moved.
body, you've seen, we've all seen videos of people who've been stabbed, get up, walk 10 feet, and then things happen.
Dude, I've been hit harder by my 7-year-old.
Steve, there's plenty of videos out there where law enforcement officers get run over from a stop position. The reason why the impact wasn't great is because it was a front wheel drive car on ice. If she
It never spun though. It went
the
right.
wheels did spin. The wheels did
right.
spin. No, they didn't. They spun.
It went right.
The wheels spun,
To
and
move
that's
the car
why.
right.
Well, I mean,
And when he shot her, you see her. He's on the side.
do you know why? Because he was pushed because he was on ice. He slid to the side. If that was a normal pavement,
That's the first time I've seen anybody talk about sliding on ice from him. Because she waves a couple cars by, and then the car's in reverse, and then puts it in front. By the way, I've seen lawyers say there's no law. They do not have the right to come up to your door and try to open your car to pull you out.
If you're being detained, they can. If you're being detained, they can.
Well, now that's why they're going after saying, hey, you guys have to have a warrant and others. And by the way, and take your mask off before you come up. And okay, let's play this thinking game. If somebody comes up to your door and telling you to get the blank out of your car while you're sitting in it and immediately grabs the car door to try to pull it open without saying you're under arrest or anything like that, I don't see how they can do anything. It's kind of like the Transformers with Section 7, where so we can do whatever and get away with it. That's not how this
Steve,
works.
she was there to block.
If that's the case, then this is over, man. I mean, what are we
block
doing?
ICE enforcement. She knew what she was doing. She was there to block federal law enforcement from doing their job. The cars rolled up. The cars rolled up. There were lights flashing on the car that indicated that it was a law enforcement
enforcement. There's 2 cars
vehicle.
that went by right before it, so she couldn't be blocking that well because 2 cars went by.
Yeah, you know who she wasn't trying to block? Those cars. She wasn't trying to block those cars. She was
if those 2 cars got by, how come the other car couldn't go by?
Because she moved her car after.
The car never moved. I'm just looking at the tape. The car never moves. She goes, 2 cars come by. It's not like, again, it's not like it's an Xbox game when you can go forward backwards. It's a Honda. It was whatever it was. You can't. That car's not good enough to go boom, boom, boom. We're like an Indy F1.
So the reason why they wanted her out of the way is not for her car, it's for the rest, because it was a convoy there was more ICE agents behind.
Yeah.
And you're trying
I'm not saying that she wasn't trying to block or not trying to be
Yeah, so she's impeding federal law enforcement.
Yeah.
Which is the whole reason they tried to.
She deserves to die.
She deserves to die because she ignored the actual request to get out of the vehicle. You hear the request to get out of the vehicle, and then she tried to leave the scene after. I try to talk about this when I do my LTC classes. If you are pulled over by a police officer, if you are detained by a police officer, the police officer is in control of the scene until they release you from it. You don't get the right to leave when that happens. You speed away from a cop at a trap when you're pulled over on the highway, they're going to call the other cops and they're going to come get you.
Yeah,
until you are released. So she was not released from the scene. She tried to drive away. The other law enforcement officer was not trying to get in front of the vehicle. He was walking around the vehicle, which is, if you looked at the cell phone video from him, he was walking around the vehicle, and then she drove, hit him. You can see in his body camera that he is hit. He is struck.
Okay, that's a good point you brought up, because it wasn't a body camera, it was a cell phone.
It was a cell phone. That is correct.
Why would you say that a law enforcement should have a cell phone out and pulling a gun out with the other hand?
Well, if it's in his left hand, his left hand is up, so his right hand.
Is there any cop in the world that's going to train somebody to say, grab your cell phone, make sure you're videoing, and then pull that whip out while you're standing in front of the vehicle, which I've seen a lot of guys say that's not protocol. You're not supposed to do that.
His original intention wasn't to block the vehicle. He was walking around to meet up with the other guy who was pulling the door out.
Well, on his cell phone.
he was videoing the cell phone because 5 seconds earlier he was talking to the wife of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
woman who was slain because she was filming him, so they're told to film them. I don't know why the body camera's not on. That's what they're there for. I can't speak to that. I
So the
can't speak to that.
detaining part, what would make them being detained? Because all I heard was get the blank out of the car. Does that mean that's detaining?
That's detained. You're
Just
now
saying get the blank out of the
Get out of the
car
car.
equals detained.
because she sees the lights of law enforcement. She sees they have badges, they have police, they are identifying who they are.
They never identify. They just have the
They're
clothing on.
identifying by the fact that they have police on their vests, by the
But
fact
that's
that
the
they have
first
a
time I've heard
badge.
stuff like that, because that's been a big thing that no one's being identified. There was a guy that there was on the screen the other day had a Minnesota Timberwolves hat on.
And
I mean, how many cops go by? You go up and someone comes up to your door and say, "Hey, I'm going to arrest you," with the like here a Carolina Panthers or a South Carolina Gamecock hat on. No, you have the
I
uniform.
can't speak to the uniform regulations for some of these guys. I know they're running around trying.
It's
to
kind of
keep their
like
heads down.
when someone's driving and they you see the lights come on. You have a right to keep going until you find safety, in
But not
case
too
someone
far.
else is impersonating.
But not
Now,
too far.
Well, I'm not saying go
can't
on for
drive
down to the next state, but go to a safe spot for that.
Yeah.
And then because people have impersonated things like this, so again, he didn't identify himself as a nice thing. He just says, "Get the blank out of the car." And if you watch any videos from the last many months, people getting taken out of their car and body slammed, beaten up, kicked. I wouldn't want to be that. I wouldn't want to get somebody to take me out. Like they grabbed some terrible human being the other day.
I wouldn't be going out of my way to impede law enforcement operations.
I didn't say that. I'm not saying what she was
that's
doing
that's
was
the whole thing. As soon as you're doing that, you are violating the law, and she was not getting out of the way. So the idea was, get out of the vehicle. We're going to move this car out of the way. She decided that she was not going to do that. She decided that she was going to drive after her wife said, "Drive, baby, drive," which then struck it. The first bullet went through the windshield. It was not the side of the vehicle. The second and third shot happened within a half a second. Everybody's looking at this video.
Yeah, I'm not saying that didn't happen.
Different angles. Those 3 shots happened within a second. So the fact of the matter is, if you practice your draw, you can get your draw in a pretty quick time, especially when focus takes over and you are in a flight or fight response.
I get it. I'm just saying that she shouldn't have been allowed. That there wasn't a call for execution at that time. That's
he there's a reason it's called vehicular manslaughter or vehicular homicide. Police officers have to deal with that all the time, and especially when you are dealing with, and this is just the thing I'm just bringing up, Steve. I know you know this because you watch the news more than I do. These people that are impeding ICE operations, whether we agree with ICE operations or not, they're violent. They've struck cops, they've run over cops, they've hit cops, they've attacked
well, there's
them.
a lot that's going the other way too. I have plenty of information, plenty of links where, remember the cop from in Chicago texting everyone, "Hey, 5 shots, 7 holes." People that are run over people shooting others.
I'm not validating bad cops. Not in any way.
ICE. I'm not talking about cops. I'm talking about the ICE guys that aren't the cream of the crop.
When I'm talking about cops, I'm talking about ICE. And
that's what I'm talking about.
And the fact of the matter is that this same guy that got hit was hit 6 months earlier. That guy was hit by a car in the same situation. He got run over by a car 6 months earlier. And
it wasn't the same situation. That car was moving. I saw that clip. That car was coming in hot. He got hit.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody get hit. And I watched that thing 17 times anyways, going, even a lawyer goes, yeah, the wheels are turned right. The car's moving right. He didn't get hit. And it's kind of like, I remember watching the movie Robin Hood Men in Tights when they have the bridge scene. Hey, why are we fighting? We're on this side of the river. We're on that side of the river. All he had to do was, ole. He did a red coat, ole. And I've been, like I said, I remember going to tailgate. I remember cars going by and you just pop the car a couple of times. Like that car wasn't like I said, it wasn't an F1 Indy 500. It was with nitro on the back. It can't get that fast going up there to hurt anybody. If she ran over his toe, it would be like, "Ow, my boo boo," but that had been it.
See, he can't from the perspective that I've taken, which is defend the idea. The idea is he doesn't know how fast she's going. B, because it actually skidded on the ice, it did not have a chance to get proper speed. It was actually delayed because of traction control and other things. If it
I
was
never
going
saw
from
ice on. Can you send me a link with the ice thing? Because I looked at going. I've driven on ice. You've driven on ice.
Mhm.
That didn't look like ice.
Let's see. Well, we got to get rid of your political
Yeah,
cartoon.
my fault. Yeah.
That's okay. That's ice. Stupid thing. You see this right here? This sheet where her tire is visibly on. This is ice.
Well, maybe it could be. I don't know.
No, that's
I
not a
mean,
maybe. That is a definite.
if it's
that
if it's spinning out, then that'd be one thing. But I never saw a spin out. And I've never seen. I didn't hear any of the.
You
I still
can
don't see a spin.
you can absolutely see. You can tell that
The
that is
car's moving
spinning out.
right.
Yes, because at that point, what she's trying to do is she's driving, the car is spinning, but she's absolutely just because she's trying to turn right, she's not banking the wheel all the way to the right.
Because those cars that went by her, they drove on that same part of the road. They didn't have a problem. No
They're
one's
not coming from a
sliding or anything
standstill.
like that.
They're not coming from a standstill.
Well, the guys aren't sliding around. I've walked on ice like
I'll
that.
watch,
before going,
you can
can't
watch
walk.
the guy's feet. Watch these feet right here. Watch these slide. That's a slide right there. He absolutely slides.
Hey,
This
that's
guy,
the camera
that
moving.
guy slides on the actual ice.
How's the camera moving with the guy? He's going this way with the camera going, and the car's going right.
Don't talk about the camera. We're talking about ice now and sliding on the ice. You're
I
saying
know.
there's
I'm
no
just
ice.
talking about
This
all
guy's
the
feet
evidence
is
I'm
going to
watching in the
slide
screen.
right there. His feet are sliding. That car is coming off of ice. That
Well,
car did not have
even
the
if it
proper
is,
time.
it's still going right.
Yes, but you understand that the guy was actually where
And he's not even
driver's
close to the
side,
car.
he was face to face on the driver's side. That car is not an
Anymore, he's
F1
not.
vehicle. That's not an F1 car that has pinpoint turning. It's going to lumber to the right. And
How the heck he get all the way to the right so far? If he's over
because he got
here,
hit and he slid. It pushed him out of the way only because he was
so he
on
didn't move
ice.
on his own.
He did not move on his own.
Well, how come it looks like he moved on his own?
It does not look like he moves on his own. When you have this and this, this idiot cop here is making it really hard because I can't watch his feet. His feet are sliding.
He's a foot away from the car.
He's not a foot away from the car at that point, Steve.
Right there. He's a foot away from the car.
You are also, first of all, no. Second of all, this is all happening within a half of a second.
I get that. I'm just saying there's no way that guy got hit that way and then puts 3 bullets in there and then calls her, that blankety blank deserved it or something like that.
I'm not defending any of the blankety blank stuff, but the fact of the matter is the guy got hit by a car.
No, the thing
And
is
he
I put it up on X the other day. We have one side that the fake left goes, Charlie Kirk deserved it. And now the right's going, she deserved it.
Yeah, and I don't think she deserved it. And I think it was a tragedy. But at the same time, this idea that he walked up to the vehicle and put 2 into her head is completely false. It's a completely false argument. And I think, that is the point of view right there. He is looking at with his cell phone, how his cell phone's out and not his body camera. I don't know, but that's what he's looking at right there. He is not on the side of the vehicle. He is on the front bumper.
Right. Which everyone said that he should have been in the first place, but it's still the car moved right.
You should excuse him for walking around the vehicle. So that's the point of view he has.
And that's a good couple feet away from the car too.
Yeah. And once again, the car can actually
go right
in a certain point.
And that didn't look at the ground right there. That doesn't look like there's a lot of, if there's any
ice right there, Steve. There's ice right there where the wheels are.
Where do you see that?
I see it right here. There's ice right there. I can't point to it, but I can circle around it. There is ice right there.
And all right. Well, the car did some good stuff on the wheel. I mean,
on one part of the road and not on another. There are patches.
You can have ice. You can have ice on spots on the road.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking at there. So the fact of the matter is, I'm really what we're arguing about is really just details at that point. But the fact of the matter, I don't think he slid right there.
Well, look how she backed up and went. There was no sliding in that.
When you're backing up,
She backed up
yeah.
controlled and gone.
Correct, Steve. But when you press, you know this, when you hit the accelerator and it's on ice, the wheels are going to spin.
Yeah, but that didn't look
If
like a
it-
spin. I mean, like I said, I had front wheel drive when I was in Denver on the ice, and if that would have spun, then the back would have done stuff too. That never did anything.
See, her wheels are going left at that point.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. So she was actually lining up. You saw there's a spin
And then
right there.
right there, the tires are to the
See
right.
there's a spin right there while she's on that ice. There's a spin and the problem is we can't see a spin because we're all playing it at.
We'll play it because I can't, and we'll see a spin. I can't tell anything besides the turn right, and that guy right there, he's defending it, saying, "Yeah, he's." He'll say the thing about that's not what happened or what everything going. The car went right, and
I don't know what I just did.
when you flat off.
I got rid of both of us because I was angry. I'm rage quitting. No,
no. When you have the main screen, you take that off. Yeah. It takes everything off.
The fact, I mean, we're just looking at it through two different lenses, and I don't think nobody on this show is saying either person was in the right. At least I don't think so. It was an unfortunate thing to be, but you can see just the debate that's happening. It's going to lead, I feel, to larger, and it's going to lead people to be more emboldened. I mean, just last night in Minnesota, they broke into ICE agents' cars. They broke into ICE agents' cars and they stole I think somebody had like a Ford Edge, and they broke into the back of it. And with the police, the federal agent cars, they have like the safes in the back that they keep all their stuff in. They broke into that. They stole the rifle. They stole like warrants. They stole documents. They stole all kinds of things last night. And the fact of the matter that when you're looking at this is that there is a faction that is looking to use the death of this lady and the protection of the innocent Somalians as some kind of pretext for violent revolution. And that's something that is that's really worrying when you think about it, because this is not supposed to be riot season, Steve. This is not supposed to be any of that kind of stuff. Riot season starts in the summer when it's nice out, because people don't like to protest when it's cold.
Well, so, then what you were talking about is here's just one of them. That's not that one.
No, not that guy.
That's he's cool though. You see, he's the guy running for governor of Florida.
Yep. Yeah.
There's been two of these guys, ICE guys, come up and just walking up to people saying, "Have you learned one thing yet?" And then grabs our phone and slams it down.
Listen.
So it's not just that. I'd be ticked off too if I had this outside paramilitary force wanting to do martial law and throwing people to the ground with, as JD Vance said, complete immunity. I mean, we're on cuckoo's nest now to do whatever they want.
The counter argument is the reason they've had to expedite the use of force is because they've run into nothing but resistance. There is proof of illegal activity that is happening from people who are not in the country. They should not be.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's not happening.
But the fact is, because you have these protesters that are getting in the way, that are impeding the operations, that are making things more difficult. And I will give that to you, because they're giving out $50,000 bonuses and they're trying to get anybody and their mom to join ICE. There is no boot camp. It's like 2 weeks of, did you ever see the movie The Rock back in the day with Nicolas Cage? Yeah. It's essentially the Nicolas Cage. I got 2 weeks weapons training, and then they throw them out into the field. So a lot of these guys are not, like the guys they're not trained. They don't have the proper use of force memorized. Right. And they're running into people that are aggravating, agitating, and not cooperating with the current laws that are on the books right now. So it's a perfect recipe for these guys getting frustrated, which they shouldn't do. I'm not explaining away their actions. I'm trying to prevent just the counter argument that these guys have been running into brick walls for over a year. And of course, you can pick and choose, which we're all doing because it's the internet. The 1 or 2 times when a guy doesn't do a right thing, when he grabs a phone, or when he does this.
Well, I got about 100 of those.
In a country of 330 million people minimum. And
Well, I mean, we're going to go that route. Then we can say that.
Out of 2,000 ICE agents in Minnesota, if you find 10 of them that do that, is that the
like here in Charlotte, the first day they detained a vet citizen twice in 20 minutes. Second time they came around, body slammed to the ground, put him in the car for 20 minutes, busted up his truck, and then made him walk. Never said apology. And they did it a couple more times. And then the whole people saying, they're using the TV media. We got 30 million, 40 million. Tom Holland comes out. We got rid of 400,000. I want to see some actual numbers. Just don't say you got it, because these guys are just blowing smoke. It's like when Brandon would say, hey, we just made 400 million jobs. Bull. Tell me where this is at. Just don't say a number. Give it to me, because they ain't really deporting anybody. They might get a few people here and there. But it's not about that. It's scaring the crap out of people, turning this into a martial law. So like get the right now. Hey, we're cool with the police state, just like during the Rona days, the 2000, when they're arresting people that are on the beach. And we were going, that's wrong. They're arresting somebody for walking their dog, or arresting somebody for doing this. Now it's reversed. And now we're arresting anybody just as there was a guy in a car. And the ICE agent goes, where's your papers? And he goes, I've been working here for 20 years. I got my driver's license. You don't sound like me. And the guy goes, oh, so now it's an accent thing now. What is it? Is it, do I live here or do I not talk like you? And these guys are all over the place right now. They have, again, with the no immunity, dude, it just makes it worse. And then you have, like you brought up the Somalia, the thing with the childcare thing, which it came out to be, and that guy that was supposed to be an independent journalist was not exactly independent, was working with the GOP in Minnesota.
Was his information wrong?
Well, when he's going in saying, well, they can't, the doors are closed. Now, it could be that the information was right, but not all, maybe all of it. I don't know. But, the whole thing, well, the doors are closed. Well, how many people would have childcare would be okay if some random guy walked in with a video camera and started videoing their kids? They ain't getting inside the childcare anywhere right now.
Half of these places are dilapidated houses.
I'm not saying it's good.
They're dilapidated houses with nobody there. It's like the place is supposed to be open from 8 to 6, and then they change their hours from 2 to 10. And nobody's still there. There's no cars in the lot. Then there's no lights on. I don't know what the story's behind it, but
it's the other guy's not being completely honest either. It's both sides. They saw a kid with a cell phone, and they shut all the lights off and locked the doors because they were afraid of the white guy. Is that what you're telling me? There was one when they ended up walking in, and there was a woman in there with another man, and there's kids in there. So not all of them were like that. I don't know the guy. I don't know. We're being told to watch what this guy says without questioning any of it, and just say this guy's an independent journalist. Take it 100% for his word. Don't look that he was actually with the GOP. Don't look that he was actually went to another gathering and had people say X things while he recorded it and then reported on his own made up media thing. I don't know. I'm not trusting the guy as he's the gospel of Nick. It's just many people have trusted it. Now, is it all true? There's a lot that probably is. Is it 100%? We know that he's not exactly 100% honest himself. That when he manipulates some other scenes and does it, there's like a meme going out. Nick's, whatever his name is, going to Chick-fil-A on Sunday, and the doors are going to be locked. He's going to say something about Chick-fil-A being closed. So
it wasn't. I mean, he was accompanying a guy in Minnesota who had been doing that audit for years. It wasn't Nick. It wasn't Nick was just providing a camera. Now, I don't care about Nick. I don't care about any of these people. They're all just, I've made my bones about YouTube journalists and all these other kinds of things as well. So I'm not trying to defend that. I think a lot of them are fame, HOREs, HOEs. But the fact of the matter is, even a broken clock is right twice a day. And even if there is, let's say it's not 9 billion in fraud, Steve, it's 5.5 billion in fraud. Is that worse? Should we not look into that because it's not the 9 billion, it's only 5.5 billion. So, and this is the thing is now we have these kind of people doing this kind of investigation stuff here in Texas, right? There's this little blonde lady running around Texas uncovering all the H-1B fraud that's taking place here. One immigration attorney is approved like 70,000 H-1Bs in North Texas alone. So I get it. I get the fact that the source of the information is not 100% trustworthy. Outside of a very few sources, Steve, who is 100% trustworthy?
Well, at least, I mean, like I said, just if you're going to do it, then do it right.
I don't think people have that kind of, and that's a problem, is they don't have that formation and foundation to even know what right is. Once again, not explaining it away, but I just think nobody knows how to tell them that it's right or wrong. It's
I'm trying to find. I know I have it shared. I put it up on Clowney last week, I think it was, but yeah, it's just it makes you go when you see that his background was manipulating scenes, and this was during the Brandon days. And then to come out and do that and then go, all right, well, again, you get a 5 minute, 6 minute, 8 minute, whatever, 10-minute clip. What is more of the give us more of the story? Now, in my mind, I'm looking at going, that's Minnesota. I could care less. That's a Minnesota problem too. Just like the whole thing with New York City. Where is that darn thing? I've got so much stuff that I reshared. It's unreal.
Well, yeah, the idea that it's a Minnesota problem. I don't really care about what's happening in Minnesota outside of the after effects that could come down the line.
I did see what's his face isn't going to run again, which hey, it might have ended his career. May take a couple months off, but then he gets back in the game, and then he goes into all right. Anybody in Minnesota care to take a spot?
Mike Lindell's running for governor.
Yeah, the pillow guy. Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
So, hey, at least somebody's running, kind of. So it is what it is in that regard. But people are now inspired to look into these things. Like I said, they're happening here in Texas. We're looking around at stuff here. So New York City.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of stuff going on around right now. I think there's a lot of unrest that's happening from just, I don't know. One of the reasons I stopped doing the Daily Show and stuff like that, and I've heard this from Tim Pool talked about this on his show. Other hosts have talked, like the Quartering of talking. It just seems like we are just stuck in this rut, and it's just not getting any better. Yeah, I mean,
one of the things. Here's the other one. Same guy once paid Hispanic day laborers to hold up pro Brandon signs in front of the White House so he could make a video about it. Yeah. So again, that's one of those like, all right, it could have been, but I also look at who's doing it, going, okay, there's everyone's got a bias, but what's the angle that this guy's playing too?
I mean, this just in, journalists manipulate story news.
Yeah, yeah.
So I understand. And I think what I really do understand, Steve, is that a lot of people do take it at face value without doing any additional research. And then it becomes a red versus blue issue, right? Red Sox, he's a MAGA Republican guy and he's right. So we have to do these kinds of things instead of saying, okay, well, this kid brought it up.
100,000%. That's the main problem right now.
Let's take a look at it. Okay, some of his stuff's right. So no, we have to protect this kid because he's exposing the truth or whatever. Yeah. No, he's out there on his own as a stupid YouTuber. If he says bad things, he should be held accountable for it.
100,000,000%. That's the problem right now. It's the red team versus blue. My team's doing this. We getting that guy. I don't care how we do it. We got that team. We're owning that team. Hashtag winning. Whereas, like you said, when all right, we're bombing Greenland, we're gonna bomb Greenland, we're gonna take over Greenland, we're gonna bomb this, we're gonna do this. Oh, we're now imperialist because we got the red hat is doing it, or like the whole thing with the shooting. We're not okay with this, but we're okay with it. The consistency is nowhere near anything. was it the taking the oil? Or, oh, we can do that. Oh, and I mentioned this to a friend of mine on text. If Brandon did that, would you have been okay? They say they would have been okay with it, or they would have been they'd be the same way. I don't buy it. Because you watch everyone how they act on anything. It's these people. You lose your mind. Look at Lindsey Graham and all these guys. They lose their. Hey, Obama's doing now. Oh, by the way, healthcare today. Oh, we're doing healthcare more affordable. So now healthcare MAGA way is still government healthcare, but it's under the red stamp, so it's still good. We love that stuff.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, Tea Party politics runs the world.
Well, let's end the show on this. If Brandon had stopped silver, right? Stopped minting silver, everybody, this is the end of the monetary system. This is the beginning of the CBDC. It's China control.
World as we know it.
Yep. But now that Trump's doing it, not a word. Not a word. Nobody. I mean, if I'm correct, and I might not be, first time for everything. It's they're supposed to be minting silver and gold. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be done. They can't just stop it because
like everything else is supposed to go on. It's supposed to, but
yeah, it's supposed to. But the fact that they've stopped minting silver is crazy. It's absolutely nuts that they're deciding that, we're just gonna, it's a precious metal that people like to buy and store and stuff like that, but not anymore. We're just, now silver was, $20, $15, whatever the case may be. Now it's over $100. Now it's over $100, and it's absolutely insane.
That silver was what, $50 a couple months ago or something like that.
I mean, if you found it, but even a couple of years ago, you could find it for like 15, 20, 25.
Yeah,
it wasn't crazy. That's why a lot of people like me, I used to buy a lot of silver because it wasn't gold. You could buy, it was still a precious metal that you could have, but you weren't breaking the bank for it. Now it's absolutely crazy that silver is now a more precious metal than gold is at this point. And it's just, people just whistle by the graveyard on this. They're just whistling past the graveyard as this currency manipulation is taking place. But everybody's like, well, the economy is going to get better because the new tax write-offs that are going to come in this year, and the oil from Venezuela, and what's the third? Oh, everybody's counting on the AI boom to make things better and so forth. And it's
have SCOTUS ruled on the tariff yet? They were supposed to do it yesterday.
On what?
The tariffs? Did they?
I would have seen something on. I would have seen everything blow up if they ruled on that. So I know they were supposed to rule on that before the start of the new year.
Yeah, something like that.
But they decide, the fact that they didn't rule before the new year means they may lean on the side of letting Trump get away with it. Yeah,
I wonder, because if he doesn't, then he even said we are screwed.
He's already spent it.
That's good. It's gone.
It's gone. And it's gone. You can get an IOU if you'd like, but outside of that, so.
But again, there was somebody that tried to argue with me on the Monday's show and tell me that I didn't know much. I showed my ignorance on gold and silver, which I explained to him. I can't eat gold and silver. And if you want to trade something, how do you trade a gold bar or a silver bar? Say like Rick has quail eggs. He does a ton of quail eggs. What is do you do a whole silver bar or what? Or you chip it away so you can get some quail eggs?
Give me all of it. That's it. But that's always been the knock in prepping communities on precious metals, like gold and silver. And the question is, well, I have it for bartering. Well, how do you barter? I mean, snap it in half or whatever the case may be, or it's 5 silver shillings or whatever the case. So that's always
been coins, and maybe you could do that, but yeah.
So it has always been weird, which is why I've never been a gold buyer, except for those little ones you can do from like YouTube where I get little gold ones, but well, no, there's this one where you can buy like every month your credit card gets charged a little bit, and then you get like a little sliver. I actually have it, Acre. From Acre Gold. So I think I've showed it on this show before, but After a couple months, you buy it. Not anymore, but then you get like one of these little things,
Uh,
and it's so like I could technically trade this. It's a tiny little gold bar if somebody wanted to trade that, but it would have to be a heck of a repay for that, because that's like 6 months worth of getting charged for.
yeah, just the other day I got some watercress seeds.
Mm-hmm.
It's grows in water pretty much, and it's better.
Yeah.
You've heard of this?
I've seen stuff like that, not that specifically.
All right, so imagine iceberg lettuce
Mm-hmm.
and a rating scale of 1 to 100. This rate's 100. Iceberg rate's 7.
Oh wow!
Guess what doesn't go to the grocery store? You get the
Yeah.
iceberg, which is pretty much just water in a leaf.
Mm-hmm.
This is like incredible amount for nutrition. This is lovage.
Oh, it's really
Which have you ever heard of celery?
yes.
This will last 50 years.
Really?
Plant it once, it will grow for 50 years.
Hmm.
And it makes the celery at the grocery store look like a pencil.
Well, yeah, that stuff's always going to be downgraded anyway.
Yeah. So this was probably about $2. This probably was 4 to get. How many seeds I get in this? A couple hundred. This one.
Couple magic bean stalks.
Yeah. I mean, so everyone wants to buy golden serval. I'm over here buying lamb's quarter.
Well, the Patriot Nurse, she's a long time YouTuber. I don't know if you've ever seen her. She's a nurse that is a prepper. She says there's 3 things people should prep for. Used to prep: beans, bullets, and band-aids. That's what you should stock up on: beans, bullets, and band-aids. You need to be able to feed yourself, defend yourself, and heal yourself. So, she's not a big, gold or silver person either. So there's a lot of people in prepping community. That's always been a dividing line about like metals. But the fact that currency manipulation is taking place by removing a precious metal out of the actual currency, or actually being available, is more of the shock, and just terrible. It's huge. It's not gold, so I can't use
Trump
it.
gold is coming in. Didn't he say he was going to Fort Knox? Has that happened?
It was 3 years ago. What are you talking about?
Okay,
That was Elon Musk. Elon Musk isn't around anymore, so
no, he's back. He's back. They're BFFs now.
But he's not back. He's just kind of around.
He's back.
Well, you're still not getting Fort Knox audit.
Hey, Mark, I will not say no to that, man. I would.
Right? Steve's the perfect guy for a farm. So
I just want a little backyard that I could plant the stuff in, and a pond that I could put some. And people are going like, "Oh, you want a pond?" No, there's actually a duckweed you could put in a pond. It will grow in the water. It will clear up the pond, 1, and 2, it is one of the best foods in the world for you. And so I would have that thing growing all over the place. And then obviously I'll get pawpaws, and I got some black raspberries growing right now. And I'm getting rid of kind of the stuff I was growing, because you see the temperature change. 81 day, 20 today.
Killing me right now.
Yeah. So, but what are these ones I'm putting in, like pawpaws, and the black raspberry, and hardy kiwi? They don't care about that. And this other stuff here, the natural stuff that wasn't produced by seed companies, all that, they can grow through any of this stuff. So I'm trying to switch it out to make it to like blueberries. Love blueberries. But they're a pain in the neck, right? You got to get the soil right. Then you got to make sure this is right. They're kind of like princesses. You ever heard of Saskatoons?
No.
Saskatchewan is named after this.
Really?
They're called Juneberry or serviceberry, which they come out with the idea of they call them serviceberry because the ground was so cold that you couldn't bury the dead. So when you knew it was time to bury the dead, when these things were blooming, it was white, beautiful white canopies. So then it was time to bury the dead, serviceberry. They're just like blueberries, except they produce more, and you don't even have to water them.
That's correct. Well, I mean, it's not incredible because it's all designed, right?
Yeah.
It's like somebody.
The people wanted they don't all ripe at the same time, but blueberries do ripe at the same time. So it's easier for the machine to go through. And then on top of that, easier to put in a refrigerator and things like that, whereas service berry won't last as long as the blueberry. So yeah, like you said, it's all been made this way.
Yeah, it has. But all right. I think we've discussed as much as we need to discuss tonight. Do you have a saint of the week in a cry room?
Cry room, I'll go with. Do I have it already?
Ice agents are cry rooms. Eternal
No,
cry
no.
rooms.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they are. That's too easy. That is way too easy for it. Yes, the full disclosure, I don't like ICE. I think it's they think they should do just like the Department of Homeland Security and the agents at the airports. Yeah, they also go the way of the dodo bird. But that's
Don't disagree.
That's me.
What's Tom Brady done to you, man? Why is he in the cry room?
You saw the commercial, right? Hut, 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 hut.
Yep.
Comes to find out, he's also the chief wellness officer of a company that distributes weight loss drugs.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut pizza has a lot of PFABs in it, which
it's
forever,
one of the chain
forever
pizzas,
chemicals.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's a chain pizza restaurant. Of course, it's gonna have all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you're doing one, and then you're also the chief wellness thing at the other. Like,
had a crash.
Did you want me to do an ice one? I can do an ice one. I was just trying to do something else.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I only reacted like that because my little Joey Logano car was racing off the edge.
There was a ton of others. I would like.
I think it is ironic. It's kind of reminds me of all these guys. They have these giant portfolios, right? That they put their money into, and so. Do you think Tom actually knows that he's in those two things?
I don't know. I mean, you think he would.
I'm not even trying to be a jerk on it. I'm just asking outright. Like, do you think somebody is running his portfolio and is just doing that, and he happens to do it? Because if he knows, then he's an absolute jerk. I agree with you. But he also could just be handing his money off to somebody else. Remember, he lost a ton of money on Bitcoin or one of the other things. Remember, he lost a bunch of money on one of those other stupid. What was it? I forgot the GIF.
He could. I don't know. I mean, but I think something it was just funny that he's doing the hut 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 thing, and the PFABs in there, and he's chief wellness guy too. So.
Well, I also all things on the table. He used to have the TB12 diet.
Yeah.
And I actually did that for a while. I actually lost some weight on because the food was actually pretty good. But he did the TB12 diet and he did all this other stuff. Now he's like, yeah, whatever. Buy Pizza Hut.
I was shocked that he actually did a Pizza Hut commercial. I was like, dude, really? And all the things you did, Pizza Hut? I thought it was a fake commercial at first.
Clearly, he would do Little Caesars, but anyway.
Yeah. Saint of the week, not Tucker, but I did. And it's kind of funny that he said that the Republic is over. I mean, he's only about a couple hundred years off, but hey, at least they're welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah.
But he did do an interview with a guy running for the mayor of governor of Florida, who James Fishback's his name. You ever heard of the guy?
I did. Yeah.
He said that he's going to right now. Israel gives $385 million to Israel, and he wants to create a $385 million down payment assistance program for young married couples. So he's anti-Israel. He actually put a post out the other day too that I will not apologize for the Confederate history of Florida. I'm going, dude, this guy is.
If we had
wants
money,
to get rid of AI data centers, return the citrus industry, and I don't know anything. It doesn't. I went to his website. I couldn't tell you anything else about the guy. But Mark, I'm with you, man. I'm because the other guy is Trump's handpicked guy, and right off the bat, I saw he's wanting to get rid of AI data centers. Going, dude. And then it's kind of like that meme with Vince McMahon. You're like,
you're about to fall out of your chair, right?
He wasn't getting rid of Israeli money.
Nice. Yep. So for my cry room, it's a funeral for a once proud franchise that is the Star Trek franchise. They just put out a new show called Starfleet Academy. And they spent, as Nerdrotic says, they spent $6 to $10 million an episode. And then they debuted it on YouTube to try and get some hype on there. and only 1,300 people watched it. Nerdrotic put a Spock figure on his chair, and it got 2,500 views. So he was like, I got you, buddy. So it just the continued destruction of media and so forth, highlighted by the very woke DEI Starfleet Academy, which nobody wants to watch.
In movies, if you guys haven't watched Rick's movie reviews, I finally watched F1 because of his movie review, and that was pretty good.
I enjoyed it, man. I really did.
That was cool.
Yep. That was, it was a solid film. Nothing bad in it. Some cursing, obviously. You want to watch a VidAngel, some stuff you got to get out of there.
Yeah, I watched VidAngel for everything.
Yeah, but overall, it was a really well made film. And the guy who did Top Gun Maverick and a bunch of the other stuff, that if you like Maverick and that cinema style, you would like that as well.
Speaking of that, not to just to put a because we brought up the movies thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen you seen the latest Landman?
Yes, the pronouns.
Yes, you have to. Obviously, we have to. If you watch it on VidAngel, you have to watch a VidAngel. They tore the pronouns apart. It was fantastic.
Yep. You can't, and it's so, and they used, and it's, some people will say whatever they want about Taylor Sheridan, but good writers use the most unique things. So when you use, like, I hate to say it, the dumbest character on the show to eviscerate the argument, it's almost more of a pure argument than like Billy Bob and his cynical self doing it. And she's like, well, the English language the English language would do that. And so my wife and I watch Landman every week. Every Sunday we watch it. That's appointment television for us. So I enjoyed it. That was a lot of fun to watch that.
That was a episode for episode going, what, they fired Billy?
Yep. Yeah. I made that joke to my wife. I was like, because the episode before it was him and like Demi Moore almost the entire show.
Yeah.
And I said, well, buckle up, because they ain't, the way they have to balance characters out, he's not going to be in the next episode. So you're going to have to.
Apparently, I did see that he's supposed to be in for season 3.
Oh yeah. That show was making way too much money to not.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of him.
No, not for a while. So
anyway, my apologies. Back to
it's fine. I love Landman. I can talk about it all day. I am also going to pick in a first. James Fitchback is going to be my Saint of the Week because he wants to put a 50% sin tax on OnlyFans creators. So you want to revive the economy? Start putting a 50% sin tax on the OnlyFans creators. You'll start generating money like no problem. So,
hey, before anybody calls us hypocrites for that, the governor can do whatever the heck he wants to do. If I was the president, he can't do that.
Nope, we're not hypocrites because he's dealing with the country of Florida.
Yep.
The country of Florida can tax whoever the heck they want. Just like, California, I don't care whatever they want to do, or New York. If Florida wants to tax the e-thoughts, let them do it and let them revive the economy that way. So James Fishback.
Dude, I wonder what the polls would be, because he's been on Tucker. By the way, Father Art will be on Tucker soon. If anybody wants, he'll be on there in the next week or so. They already filmed it. But to him, who gets more views, Fox News or Tucker?
Tucker.
So he's getting a ton of exposure for that interview that he had for Florida alone. That won't be a blowout race, even with Trump backing the other guy up. No matter how you have Mar-a-Lago, DC
endorsement doesn't really work in the midterms. If he's not on the ballot, his endorsement doesn't really mean much. So we've seen that in past elections. So I'd like to see James Fishback win because he's new blood. So,
dude, I'm not. The U-Haul would be ready.
Yeah.
I wrote it. Now, can you get rid of the raw milk ban and make Florida the greatest homeschooling state ever?
Just get rid of those sales tax. Get rid of property tax on homes, and I'll fire up the U-Haul tomorrow. I think
he said he's all for. No, yeah, he's all for getting rid of property tax too. Yeah.
2027 might be a change year for the Barrett household. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, folks, thanks for hanging out with us on this episode of News from the Pew. Please like, subscribe, and share the News from the Pew. We'll talk to you all next week. God bless. Oh, hold on. You want to say
comment below how wrong that Rick was earlier in this program? Go back below.
Rick is correct. Rick is always correct. You should always say yes. Bye, everybody. Thank you.